Welcome, everyone. Today, we'll embark on an exciting journey through the world of behavior analysis. Our goal is to understand the distinctions between behaviorism, the experimental analysis of behavior, applied behavior analysis, and professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Let's dive in and explore each of these fascinating areas, complete with examples and mock exam questions to test your understanding. There are 4 domains of behavior analysis: science and practice, radical behaviorism, applied behavior analysis, experimental analysis of behavior, professional practice guided by behavior analysis. Let's deep dive each with some examples. Radical behaviorism. Province: it is the theory and philosophy underpinning behavior analysis. Primary activity involves conceptual and philosophical analysis, with an emphasis on understanding and explaining behavior in the broadest terms possible. Primary goal aims to provide a comprehensive theoretical account of all behavior, taking into account both observable events and private events, such as thoughts and feelings within the context of the environment. Example: radical behaviorism. Example 1. Researchers conducting EEB might use an operant conditioning chamber, Skinner box, to study the effect of different schedules of reinforcement on the rate of lever pressing in rats. Example 2. An EEB study may involve varying the intensity of a stimulus to determine the threshold at which a response is reliably elicited in pigeons, establishing a basic principle of stimulus control. Example 3. Conceptual analysis. A theorist might analyze how societal norms influence individual behavior, including private events like feelings of acceptance or rejection. Example 4. Philosophical discussion, debating whether internal states, such as emotions, can and should be analyzed behaviorally in terms of their function and context. Experimental analysis of behavior. Province: concerned with basic research in behavior analysis. Primary activity: the design, conduct, interpretation, and reporting of basic experiments. Primary goal: to discover and clarify basic principles of behavior, establishing functional relations between behavior and controlling variables in a controlled experimental setting. Example for EEB. Example 1. Researchers conducting EEB might use an operant conditioning chamber, Skinner box, to study the effect of different schedules of reinforcement on the rate of lever pressing in rats. Example 2. An EEB study may involve varying the intensity of a stimulus to determine the threshold at which a response is reliably elicited in pigeons, establishing a basic principle of stimulus control. Example 3. Operant conditioning experiment. A researcher conducts an experiment where they manipulate reinforcement schedules to observe changes in a rat's lever pressing behavior. Example 4. Functional analysis, conducting a series of controlled experiments to identify the variables that maintain a specific challenging behavior in an individual. Key difference between radical behaviorism and EEB. Radical behaviorism is more expansive in its scope, attempting to account for all aspects of human behavior, including private events. It is less about direct experimentation and more about the overarching theoretical framework that informs the interpretation of behavior. EEB is more focused on empirical research than radical behaviorism. It involves hands-on experimentation where variables are manipulated to observe effects on behavior, often in a laboratory setting. EEB seeks to identify clear cause-and-effect relationships through rigorous scientific methods. Key difference between radical behaviorism and EEB. In summary, radical behaviorism is concerned with the theoretical and philosophical aspects of behavior, including those that are not directly observable. In contrast, EAB is the branch of behavior analysis that deals with the empirical investigation of behavior through controlled experiments. Applied behavior analysis province applied research with direct social relevance. Primary activity: the design, conduct, interpretation, and application of behavior principles to socially significant issues. Primary goal: to develop a technology of behavior change to improve socially significant behaviors in real-world settings. Scope: applied directly to solve practical issues, often with human subjects in naturalistic settings. Example for ABA. Example 1. An ABA practitioner might design an intervention to decrease classroom disruptions by implementing a token economy, where students earn tokens for appropriate behavior that can be exchanged for rewards. Example 2. In a home setting, an ABA therapist could work with a family to develop strategies for increasing a child's adaptive behaviors, like using the toilet independently through the use of systematic reinforcement and prompting. Example 3. Behavioral intervention in schools. An ABA practitioner designs and implements a token economy to improve classroom behavior and academic performance among students with behavioral challenges. Example 4. Treatment for autism spectrum disorder. An ABA therapist uses discrete trial training to teach communication skills to children with autism in a clinical setting. Key difference between EAB and ABA. EAB is primarily concerned with the theoretical exploration and understanding of behavioral principles. It tends to focus on laboratory research, often with non-human subjects, to gain a broad understanding of behavior laws. ABA is focused on applying the principles and findings from EAB and behavior theory to real-world problems and behaviors. It is solution-focused, aiming to produce meaningful change in behavior that improves the quality of life for individuals and has a direct social impact. Key difference between EAB and ABA. In essence, EAB is more about fundamental understanding and exploration of behavior principles, typically in a lab setting, while ABA takes these principles and applies them to address concrete behavioral issues in natural environments. Professional practice, guided by the science of behavior analysis. Province: this refers to the application of ABA principles by professionals in the field. Primary activity: professionals use evidence-based practices from ABA to develop and deliver services and interventions. Primary goal: to use the best available evidence to inform the delivery of services to clients in real-world settings. Scope: narrower in scope, focused on the individual client's needs and goals within specific contexts. Example for ABA. Example 1. A board-certified behavior analyst collaborates with a school to create a school-wide positive behavior support program aimed at improving the overall school climate and reducing bullying incidents among students. Example 2. A behavior analyst working in a clinical setting might provide parent training for the families of children with developmental disabilities to equip parents with skills to manage challenging behaviors and promote skill acquisition at home. Example 3. Clinical services. A board-certified behavior analyst designs and supervises behavior plans for individuals with autism, based on the latest ABA research. Example 4. Consultation. A behavior analyst consults in a corporate setting, applying ABA principles to improve employee performance and job satisfaction. Difference between ABA and professional practice, guided by the science of behavior analysis. ABA itself is both a scientific discipline and a professional practice, focused on understanding and improving human behavior through direct application of behavioral principles. It is often conducted by researchers as well as practitioners who are directly involved in both the creation and implementation of behavior change programs. The professional practice guided by ABA is the application of ABA principles by practitioners. These professionals may not be directly involved in research, but are responsible for implementing ABA-based strategies and interventions to produce behavior change in clients. Their work is driven by the data and outcomes from ABA research, tailored to individual clients or settings. Key difference between ABA and professional practice guided by ABA. In summary, while ABA represents both the research and application side of behavior principles, the professional practice guided by ABA is more about the day-to-day application of those principles by practitioners in various service delivery contexts. Driven by the outcomes of ABA research and tailored to meet specific client needs. Let's practice with some mock exams. Mock Exam 1. A researcher is conducting a study on the effects of different reinforcement schedules on the behavior of pressing a lever in rats. She meticulously controls the environment to ensure that there are no extraneous variables affecting the outcomes. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. Why? The scenario involves basic research in a controlled setting, which is characteristic of EAB, focusing on fundamental behavioral principles. Why it's not the other choices, it does not concern the broad philosophical theory of behaviorism, nor does it involve applying behavior principles to solve practical problems, or the professional application of these principles professional practice. Mock Exam 2. A BCBA is working with a child with autism to improve social interaction skills. The therapist designs an individualized treatment plan and uses evidence-based practices to increase the child's engagement with peers. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Why it's professional practice? The scenario highlights the individual application of ABA principles in a service delivery context by a professional. Why it's not the other choices? It's not discussing the foundational philosophy behaviorism, laboratory-based research, or the creation of general interventions. Mock Exam 3 in a university lab. A graduate student observes pigeons pecking at different colored discs to study the concept of generalization. The study aims to contribute to the existing body of knowledge on stimulus control. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. The scenario is about basic research in a controlled environment aimed at understanding behavioral concepts. Mock Exam 4. A psychologist gives a lecture on the philosophical underpinnings of behavior analysis, discussing how private events, such as thoughts, can be analyzed in a behaviorist context. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. Professional practice guided by the 4. Science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 1. Behaviorism. The scenario is centered on theoretical and philosophical analysis of behavior. Mock exam 5. A team of behavior analysts is called to consult at a manufacturing plant to address employee tardiness. They analyze the workplace environment and design a token economy system to reward punctuality. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 3. Applied behavior analysis. The scenario involves applying behavior analysis principles to address a real-world problem. Mock exam 6. A clinical psychologist works with parents to manage their child's disruptive behaviors at home. She employs functional behavior assessment and designs behavior intervention plans based on the assessment results. 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. The psychologist is applying ABA principles to provide services tailored to specific client needs. Mock exam 7. Dr. Green is interested in the fundamental principles of how reinforcement affects behavior. In a controlled lab setting, she studies how rats press a lever under different schedules of reinforcement. Her research doesn't directly address a social issue, but aims to contribute to the basic understanding of behavior. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. This scenario is about controlled laboratory research that is designed to elucidate basic behavioral principles, which is the essence of EAB. Mock exam 8. Mr. Larson, a high school teacher, reads about behaviorist philosophy and starts seeing his students' classroom behaviors as responses to environmental stimuli. He contemplates how reinforcement and punishment in his classroom can shape student behavior, though he does not conduct any formal experiments. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 1. Behaviorism. Why it's behaviorism? The scenario describes a theoretical and philosophical consideration of behavior, which aligns with behaviorism. Why it's not EAB? There is no experimentation or controlled study described. Why it's not ABA? While ABA involves applying behaviorist principles, it specifically addresses interventions for social issues, which is not the focus here. Why it's not professional practice? Professional practice involves applying these concepts in real-world scenarios. typically in a systematic and empirical manner, which is not indicated here. Mock Exam 9. Susan, a board-certified behavior analyst, works with children on the autism spectrum. She conducts functional behavior assessments in naturalistic settings and designs behavior intervention plans that are implemented in the children's homes and schools to improve social interaction skills. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 3. Applied behavior analysis. Why it's ABA. Susan is applying behavioral principles to address social issues in naturalistic settings, which is the core of ABA. Why it's not behaviorism. Behaviorism does not involve direct intervention. Why it's not EAB. EAB is focused on basic research, not on interventions in natural settings. Why it's not professional practice, while close. This choice is less about individual service delivery and more about the application of BE principles to create interventions. Mock Exam 10. Dr. Pedal is a psychologist who consults for various organizations to improve workplace efficiency and employee satisfaction. He utilizes behavior analysis principles to assess, develop, and implement strategies that are evidenced to produce positive outcomes in these settings. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Why it's professional practice. Dr. Pedal's work directly involves applying behavioral science in a professional capacity to solve real-world problems, representing professional practice. Why it's not behaviorism. His work goes beyond philosophical contemplation and involves direct application. Why it's not EAB. EAB is about controlled, basic research, not applied consulting work. Why it's not ABA. Although his work is applied, the term ABA generally refers to interventions for socially significant behaviors, typically involving more direct individual or group treatment. Mock Exam 11. In a school setting, a behavior analyst designed a program to increase on-task behavior among students diagnosed with ADHD. The program involves close observation, modification of environmental variables, and systematic reinforcement for desired behaviors. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 3. Applied behavior analysis. ABA is the focus here as it involves using evidence-based strategies to improve socially significant behaviors, which is the goal of ABA. Mock Exam 12. A licensed practitioner uses principles of behavior analysis to design an intervention for a child with autism. The practitioner works closely with the child's family, implementing and adjusting the intervention based on continuous data collection and analysis. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. This scenario illustrates professional practice as it involves applying behavior analysis principles in a professional setting to solve real-world problems. Mock exam 13. A team of researchers publishes a paper on the effects of variable ratio reinforcement schedules on the behavior of laboratory mice. The study carefully controls for external variables to isolate the effects of the reinforcement schedule on behavior. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 1. Behaviorism. This scenario is a clear example of behaviorism because it focuses on discussing the theoretical and philosophical aspects of behavior. Mock exam 14. During a public seminar, a speaker discusses the impact of environmental factors on behavior, advocating for the view that all human actions can be explained through interactions with the external world, without the need for invoking mental states. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. The focus on conducting a study to test a hypothesis about behavior in a controlled setting is indicative of EAB. Mock exam 15. A behavior analyst collaborates with a local community center to develop a program aimed at reducing littering in the community. The program uses positive reinforcement strategies to encourage proper trash disposal and recycling behaviors among residents. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 3. Applied behavior analysis. Applying behavior analysis principles in schools to improve classroom management and student behavior aligns with ABA's focus on improving socially significant behaviors. Mock exam 16. A professional in behavior analysis consults with a corporation to improve employee productivity and job satisfaction. The professional assesses the workplace environment and employee behaviors, then implements a series of evidence-based interventions. What domain of behavior analysis does this scenario best exemplify? 1. Behaviorism. 2. Experimental analysis of behavior. 3. Applied behavior analysis. 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Correct answer is 4. Professional practice guided by the science of behavior analysis. Tailoring intervention plans to individual needs in a professional service delivery context exemplifies professional practice in behavior analysis. Thank you for participating in today's session. I hope the distinctions between behaviorism, experimental analysis of behavior, applied behavior analysis, and professional practice are now clearer. These areas, while interconnected, serve different roles within the broad field of behavior analysis. Whether through foundational philosophy, experimental research, applied interventions, or professional practice, behavior analysis offers powerful tools for understanding and improving human behavior. Keep exploring, and don't hesitate to reach out with further questions. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe channel. Thank you for watching.